These are the examples for Geometry B, Credit 3, Lesson 16.2. Lesson 16.2, we're going to be talking about something called arc length. And of course, this is something new we're learning, but it's related to something that we did in the previous lesson, which is circumference. And so when we're talking about arc length, what we're trying to find is the length of the arc, obviously, but it's related to circumference in that we're not trying to find the circumference of the whole circle, but only a piece of it. So in this case, they want us to find this arc length here, the distance. We have this 40-degree angle here, and they want us to find just this distance. So if it's related to circumference, or if it's part of the circumference of the circle, it should come as no surprise that the circumference formula is part of the formula for finding arc length. But again, we're not trying to find the entire circumference or the entire distance around the circle, only a fraction of it. Well, what fraction is that? It's the 40 degrees, only 40 degrees worth of the arc, so to speak. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take the circumference and multiply it by that fraction of the circle. And we're going to use S to represent the arc length. All right, so M here stands for the measure of the angle, or we could also say the measure of the arc in degrees. Not the length of it, but the measure of it in degrees. Remember, when we have a central angle where the vertex is at the center of the circle, the angle, that central angle formed by these two radiuses, 40 degrees, is the same as the arc length in degrees. All right, so M is the measure of that angle or arc. And so we have 40 over 360. And they want us to use 3.14 for pi and then round to the nearest tenth. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Now, since this is a fraction, we're going to make this a fraction by putting it over 1. Remember, you can make any number a fraction by putting it over 1, because fraction bar means divide, and dividing by 1 doesn't change anything. All right, so we have 2 times 3.14, and then R, of course, remember, represents radius, and so our radius, that distance from the center to the edge of the circle, is 12. And so we have 2 times 3.14 times 12. So now what we're going to do, the easiest way to approach this is just multiply the numerator and then multiply the denominator, and then we're going to divide it out and round, and that's all we have to do. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. We've got 40 times 2 is 80. So let's kind of take these in steps. We're not going to write the whole thing, but we'll kind of narrate it. 40 times 2 is 80. And then 80 times 3.14 gives us 251.2. And then times 12, and we get 3014.4. So that comes, the 3014.4 comes from multiplying all these numbers up here. So 40 times 2 is 80. 80 times 3.14 was 251.2. 251.2 times 12 gave us our answer, 3014.4. The denominator is a little bit quicker. 360 times 1 is just 360. All right, so now remember, fraction bar means divide. So we're going to divide. And remember, the order you divide matters. So we're always dividing the numerator by the denominator. So we're entering that in our calculator first, divided by the denominator. So we've got 3014.4 divided by 360. And we get 8 so what we have in our calculator is 8.37, and then a whole bunch of 3s, a repeating 3 after that. But again, since we're rounding to the nearest tenth, remember tenth is that first decimal place, we only need the next number. So the next number is a 7. So remember, recall how we round. Our options here are to stay 8.3 or go up to 8.4. And that's determined by the next number. So the next number, if it's a 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4, we're going to stay 8.3. If it's a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, we're going to go up to 8.4. So 7 is a go up number. Remember, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 are the go up numbers. And so we are going to go up to 8.4. And our final answer here, 8.4. And don't forget the unit, 8.4 meters. So the length of our arc here, the length from here to here, is 8.4 meters. And that's how you find arc length. So there's only a couple problems there. Both 1 and 2 are done the same way. So believe it or not, that's it. Just one example for this lesson. Nice and quick there. All right, so that is it for lesson 16.2. And good luck with the work. Pause, rewind the video as needed. And we'll see you in the next video. And until then, take care and God bless.